Today on Snow Walker Outdoors, we're going to talk about different traction and stabilization devices that you're going to use in the backcountry. So the very first thing that we're going to talk about in the backcountry, especially in the Adirondacks where it is mandatory, once there's 8 inches of snow on the ground, it is mandatory to either use snowshoes or backcountry skis. When we start talking about the snowshoes, again, you know me, you know I much would rather be using traditional snowshoes, except when I'm in a higher elevation. I'm going to use my technical snowshoes. Why? They basically have crampons on them where it gives me better traction, and being that the binding is the way that it is, I can actually kick in and I'll have good placement and good traction while I'm doing that. So again, 8 inches or more of snow, mandatory in the Adirondacks, skis, snowshoes. And these are very short backcountry skis. They're not like your typical cross-country ski. They're not very narrow. They're actually pretty wide. They do come with a universal binding, so you can use them on any boot that you choose. Very easy to actually adjust. There's a clip here. You can move it back and forth. The heel is actually spring-loaded, so it keeps it tight up against. We want to be able to maintain our grip and our traction while we're out there. And a lot of times the snow will clog up the cleats and things. We need a little bit of help. So one of the first things that we can use is these micro spikes. Micro spikes are pretty good. These are about, they're a ½ an inch in depth. There is 12 of them on the bottom, and they're held on by this rubber webbing. All right? They work, and they work quite well. They'll work on icy trails, and they'll work on snowpack trails. The thing about these is there's 2 different kinds of versions of these. One, they have like these little springs that are on the bottom, and they're more for sidewalks. These are the ones that are made for the backcountry when you're out in the woods. Now, you can use these in town, but over the course of time, you're going to wear your spikes down, and then you've just wasted the money that you put into these. So, you know, buy a pair of walkers or buy the pair for the backcountry. Now, there's 2 different types. Hillsound makes a pair, and these are Kahulas. I prefer the Kahulas. I never had a problem with them. It's just my personal preference. Get whichever one you want. A little trick also that I like to do on the back is I just run a piece of paracord through these 2 holes back here, and I create a loop. They actually help you pull these tighter to put them on your heels. Just make this loop big enough so that you can get at least 3 fingers, especially if you're wearing gloves. Okay, just a tip. Makes them easy on, easy off. All right, moving right along into the progression. Now we want to, if we're going to be doing some serious work on higher elevations, higher summits, bald summits that actually get iced over, multiple packs snow, you just need something that's a real good grip. So you're going to wind up going into a 12-point crampon. These are going to go onto your boots. As you can see, these are very long. The spikes are at least 1.5 inches in length. They're sharpened. There is an adjustment. What you do is you'll extend out the toe piece, and then right here, most crampons have the adjustment here. You'd lift this up, you move it back and forth, and they will fit to your boots, the boots that you are wearing. Poles are adjustable. Basically, they're hiking poles. Make sure that you actually get it with baskets on there, because you're going to be using them in the snow. In general, you can use these for when you're just walking to your approach to your trail. You can use them on the trail. You can use them when you're snowshoeing. You can actually use them, you obviously need them when you're skiing. Last but not least, you're going to have an ice axe. And we'll talk about the ice axe a little bit later, but for right now, you can use an ice axe to help you on those gentle inclines. You can also use it for your higher and steeper inclines. Very simply, as a walking stick, it's not unheard of to actually use a mountaineering axe or an ice axe on your uphill hand while you're ascending. You would also use on your downhill hand, you can use a hiking pole like I just showed you. There you have it. That's all the traction devices that I have for use in the backcountry, and the stabilization accessories. You know, your pole and your mountaineering axe, ice axe, whichever, and you know, to help keep you upright and in the spot that you want to be, and not slide one way or the other. Be careful while you're out there. Always remember, ego gets you killed, ego gets you hurt. If you don't feel up to the task, if you're not comfortable with it, turn around, go back. Always leave a plan with somebody, and get outside, enjoy yourself. Brian, Snow Walker Outdoors. Thanks for using your comments. Take it easy.